So let's dive in and have a closer look at some of the key elements, some of the build, the construction of this first Gen 3 supercar. Now, it hasn't got all its bodywork on, and we're not going to see it with all its bodywork on because obviously manufacturers at the moment, still in the homologation process, the approval process, the testing process, are still playing with some finalities. So you might have to wait for the launch, but you'll get the gist of what's going on. And I've got to be honest, there is so much even for me to take in. I haven't seen any of this stuff, and it's just blowing me away how different everything is. It's fundamentally similar to what we do now in terms of a big steel floor pan, if you like, and some of these sills down here, but a tubular chassis is robust, it's safer than where we've come from. The suspension points, this is the same now for everyone with a bunch of adjustments. The Super Shock control damper remains.
It's like a reset almost for the category, for the engineers. It's going to still maintain a level of adjustability for and differentiation for the engineers to tune the car.
I think there'll be quite a bit of a shift from the current sort of modus operandi of V8 supercar teams, where you've got to be almost a jack of all trades, bit of a designer, bit of a race engineer, data engineer. It's probably even shifting a bit more to European or general motorsport sort of philosophy around the world, in that you're a track operations guy, you run the car, you have to optimise the setup, work with the driver, sort of have a bit more of a relationship there, making sure you optimise every single detail, because without being able to design a new upright and get a couple of tenths here or there, it's just all about how you run the car, the best setup.
You can see the fuel cell now, 135 litres, so bigger than where we are now at 111 litres. Inboard and even safer than where it currently is. I really like that. Now, one biggie I just noticed, I don't see a fuel receptacle on here, and it's going to have to be different because it's up higher. Where we plug the fuel in is going to have to be higher. And look at this, Flinty's brought this out to show me. This is very cool, very IndyCar-like. This is going to be the new plug-in facility for supercars going forward. And there is, you can see there, the receptacle that'll fit into the car. Just from a crash structure perspective, this is a big game changer for me, is there's a joint here, here, and here. This is the rear clip. It joins here and down the bottom here. If you have a big shunt on a Saturday afternoon at an event, rather than get out welders and work through the night or put in the truck and take it home, you're going to literally be able to unbolt all that clip, they call it, and take it away if it's damaged, grab another one out of the truck and put your whole rear end. All the panels you see are composite. Everything is either carbon fibre, Kevlar, maybe some fiberglass in there, but everything composite. So easy to fix, easy to replace, and you don't have to go and buy expensive parts from the car parts store and modify them. And check this out. Here's the roof of the car. Like, look, seriously light. And there's the hatch. So the medicos can access the driver to work on if needed from above the car. All of this quite low down close to the driver, which was all about the Gen 3 concept, so we could replicate the exterior surfaces of the road car. The driver, inboard, a long way back. And of course, then there is aero. This is a real big one. It's been done to enhance the quality of the racing so cars can race closer together, particularly in corners and coming off corners, increase the braking distances. And the way we're going to do that is by lifting a whole lot of downforce off the cars.
We want entertainment. We want the cars up close to each other, nose to tail into turn one at SMP and then out braking each other into turn two. You can't do that with the old car. So this is what we're trying to address.
Downforce, aerodynamic downforce at speed makes the biggest component of car performance of all. So a typical supercar right now at 200 k's an hour is making about 450 kilograms of downforce. That allows the tyres to stick to the road and you can get around corners a whole lot quicker. So think across the mountain at Bathurst, right? Now think Gen 3, we're going to take that away to give you only 30%, probably somewhere closer to 140 kilos of downforce overall. That's nothing. That's more like a road car. That's a great thing for the category.
We're going to see the cars move around a lot more. There'll be corners that aren't corners now, they're flat now, but they'll be definitely, seat of the pants style. Like one particular example, we think through the chase, it's pretty easy flat, they get around there, break in a straight line, happy days, but coming to the Gen 3, we expect, well, that's going to be a lift, that's going to be a slide the rear around, and that makes it entertaining for the fans. Probably also makes a bit more of a braking sort of overtaking point.
So how supercars will reduce that downforce is firstly the rear wing. It'll be a new profile, redesigned, so it just won't make the same amount of downforce. And the other way at the front of the car, which is really, really important, is here we have a front bar off a current Commodore. So we've got this big lip hanging out the front here, right, which obviously on its own makes some downforce. But more importantly, when we come around the back here, this is where the real downforce is made on the front of the car. We talk a lot about the under tray. I've showed you the under tray. In the Gen 3 example of this is gone. No under tray.
We want to still try and keep it raw and natural. Big grunty V8, a nice big slick tyre, lots of mechanical grip, but take away that aero.